Play it again. Play it again.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Boozing with gays.
So I'm putting on my jewelry as we're talking.
Your jewelry.
The jewelry that makes me magical.
I love it.
Oh my God, Michael, hi.
Hello, darling. How are you?
You're looking pretty good.
Oh, I feel pretty good.
There we go.
I'm trying to
jewelry with gays.
Let me know if I am. I'm trying to do double duty tonight.
What does that
I'm
mean?
on my computer and my phone.
Oh well, I'll let you know if something's bizarre.
I know you will.
Because I'm the bizarre thing.
All right. So, hi, baby.
How are you doing?
I'm good. So, that's my husband.
It's weird. What?
That's my husband, Hutch Foster.
Oh, and that's my husband, Shep. That's what it says.
Apparently.
Michael A. Shepherd.
Hello.
And I think you have to talk about one, where you are, and two, why are you wearing that shirt?
All right. So, you're probably wondering why we're on a split screen tonight, right? I'm sure you are. I can feel the energy. Well, we're on a split screen because I'm not in Los Angeles.
No.
Actually in. Oh, wait. I'm actually in. Can you see that? Montgomery, Alabama. Alabama. I'm in Montgomery, Alabama doing Little Shop of Horrors at Alabama Shakespeare. I know we've been leading up talking about it and stuff for weeks, but I'm actually going to be here for the next 2 months doing this show. Salute.
God, sneeze. Thank you.
So this is where we are.
Well, you got to Alabama safely, which is, good on you.
I know, right? That alone.
Do you have any Alabama stories yet?
Well, here's the thing. There are so many interesting things about Alabama. First, I want to start with the TV. And you turn on, I'm trying to watch, My Little Amazing Race. And these commercials keep coming on.
My Little Amazing Racism on the commercials?
The Amazing Racism. That was good. That was good.
I did that.
And these commercials could not be more anti-Black. It could not be more anti-liberal. They could not be more anti-anything that is not white male. A cishet white male. It is crazy to me. And so I had to I said, I can't really watch television because they're infuriating, because even the lies, and they all talk about how the election was stolen and everyone, is stolen and da-da-da-da. And I'm the only people who were stolen were Black folks from Africa to be brought here. That's who was stolen.
I would like to interrupt you.
What's that?
So for anyone watching,
yes,
anyone perhaps in Alabama or other parts of the country that said the election was stolen, our ex-vice president said this.
And I heard this week that President Trump said I had the right to overturn the election. But President Trump is wrong. I had no right to overturn the election. The presidency belongs to the American people and the American people alone. And frankly, there is no idea more un-American than the notion that any one person could choose the American president.
My jaw dropped.
Can I tell you something?
Huh?
I'm not able to hear that on my end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know what he said, Yeah.
But he was talking about how it's so un-American that Trump would say this. And it was like, what?
But see, the thing is, though, he says that.
Yes.
Because he's trying to stay in the good graces of some of the Republicans. But he's still a Trump person. Let's be clear. His Trumpisms are still very much in place. So,
on that day, January 6th, a year ago, they were saying hang Pence. I imagine there are some feelings that might surround that.
Yeah, but they said it was like a tour. It was like a tour going through the Capitol.
I thought it was a tour. We kind of are literally going from the last part of our show. I brought it up top, didn't I?
You brought it up top, I guess.
Do we round it out? Let's round it out then. I mean, it makes sense.
No, why don't we talk about it? So, but that actually goes in with all the things that in the 2 days I've been here, 3 days I've been here.
You're dealing with it.
It's so weird because everyone is so nice. I mean, I walked into the liquor store. First of all, let me tell y'all something. A handle of Tito's here.
First of all, I'm sorry. Show that handle. You got it yesterday. You
3 days ago.
You drunk?
3 days ago.
Rush of the week.
Drunk of the week. And the thing is that first of all, the handle of Tito's,
Yeah,
$50.
What? Oh, I thought you
bones.
were going in the other direction.
No, I'm like, I don't know how
people get drunk in the South.
You can't. It's horrifying.
You gotta find some moonshine
person.
Someone has their own still.
I got to get cheaper booze. I don't know how to do it, but I got to do it.
But they don't have. You went to the Costco, didn't you?
Costco doesn't sell liquor. Wine and beer.
You're in the South.
It's like
it's a different world. It's a different world. It's a whole new world.
Greg Brewer said, the new wordle today is drunk.
Drunk. Or lushy.
Lushy. But everyone here is so nice.
Remember when we took my siblings and I took my dad back to Oklahoma, and he's from Norman, Oklahoma, and so we took him back to Norman 4 years ago. He's in Alzheimer's. I've talked about it on the show, and we thought, well, let's bring him back to his hometown where we know that that's going to mean something to him and everything. And I had a lot of misgivings. I thought we're going to be entering into the land of Trump, and I'm going to just have to listen and swallow it for my dad's sake. And everyone was so nice. Just what you're saying. We had the best time. A lot of really crazy nice people. And, politics did not really make an appearance, which I was more than fine about.
I hope that doesn't make an appearance here. Because this theater is beautiful. I'm at Alabama Shakespeare and part of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival. And this theater is gorgeous. And the entire staff is so amazingly wonderful. But I have to give a shout out. Because tonight is the opening night for Jennifer Lee Warren's show.
Oh, wow.
Schoolgirl play. And she's down in Florida right now.
Doing it again because I talked on top of you. What's the name of it?
The African Schoolgirls play.
You got to articulate that. The African School.
You saw how much vodka I've been drinking. How am I supposed to articulate?
Jennifer Lee Warren is the one who sings our theme song. So she's an amazing singer for those of you who don't know. So, but good. You go the leg, as they say.
But let's see who's still here. Who's here? Jason Candy's here. Deanna Labriola's here.
Why don't we get some housekeeping out of the way? What do you say?
All right, do the thing. Oh, you got to do your thing. You read it.
You really are drunk. You just take over. Oh, you want to know something? I have all of the pieces for this show, and nothing's been organized. I'm looking at it going, so it's going to be a fun one. We're going to stumble through. Fair use. Excerpts of copyrighted material may, under certain circumstances, be quoted verbatim for purposes such as criticism, news reporting, teaching, and research, without the need for permission from or payment to the copyright holder.
We don't know if that actually works, but we have to say it every week.
We say it anyway. I think we should jump into, you like starting the show oftentimes with people who have passed. And I know this one is a big one for you.
This week has been kind of, it's been a crazy one. I have two, actually. By the way, just so you guys know, Hutch and I just talked like the last 30 minutes about this whole thing we're talking about tonight. We don't know what's
No, I think that's unfair because I've been working on it today.
You've been working on it.
Don't make it sound like I'm not working on it.
You are
working on it.
I haven't been working on it.
Okay.
I'm in a. Where am I? I'm in a
horrible place.
Didn't stay home.
Hideous inn.
But okay, so I want to talk about this. My dear friend and voice teacher, Calvin Rimsberg, died, and Calvin Rimsberg was just a force to be reckoned with. He was the Beatle in
Sweetie Todd.
Sweetie Todd. He was Old Deuteronomy in Cats, which is where I met him. The national tour of Cats back in the early 80s, like 1983.
We're talking. He was on Broadway doing Sweeney as well. I know he did Cats.
Yeah.
On Broadway.
And it was just so I met him on the tour of Cats in '83. He came into this bar I worked at Berlin, and he walked in with this big energy and big personality. I immediately said, "Oh my God, I'm buying you your first drink." And we became friends ever since. He really sort of nurtured me and took me under his wing. And he took me to New York on his dime, so that I would see, as he said, I would see my future. And he was just an amazing man. And he passed this week. And I just want to Pour a little bit out for my friend. Not much because it's $50.
It is $50. Holy moly.
And another person, because the bar I worked at in Chicago, Berlin, an actress died this week as well. Her name was Monica Vitti. Now, most of you don't look at that. That's Miss Monica Vitti, y'all. So Miss Monica Vitti played the legendary character Modesty Blaze.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, for those of you who know me from Chicago, know that my nickname is what?
Nickname, your drag name. Can I say drag?
My drag name, which became my nickname, is Modesty Blaze. Now, I got that nickname around this, just before I met Calvin. Look at that. Look at her. Letting you have it. I mean, like
I was watching. I watched a little bit of the movie yesterday, and it's all about the eye makeup. It's that fabulous kind of Sophia Loren Italian eye makeup. She's just gorgeous.
So at Berlin, I was a personality there, and I hadn't really been doing drag. And then all of a sudden, Jeff Momquist, who was the manager at the bar, I was at his house with him and his boyfriend, and he's like, we all got really drunk and maybe high. And also he looked at me and goes, and the movie came on TV. And he goes, girl, you got to be Miss Modesty Blaze. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. Miss Modesty Blaze. And it stuck. And then I had to create a drag persona around the name Modesty Blaze, which basically I look like Patty Austin because I would wear those bob wigs. Because I would go shake and go bob wigs because that's all I could afford.
You have to explain this movie.
Explain.
I mean, if I were to describe Modesty Blaze, it's in the time period of Barbarella. And so it's all this kind of funky music. The theme really has not, I mean, there's really kind of no plot, but she is a spy. She's a super spy that, if she walks in the room, everyone looks at her. She's not an undercover. But I want to know if you ever wore as Modesty Blaze anything that looked like this.
You know what's funny? What's funny? Since I'm doing Little Shop of Horrors.
I thought so too. Feed me.
So yes, that will be my drag for opening night of Little Shop of Horrors here in Alabama, Montgomery. Oh my gosh.
Monica, I decided to look and see if she had any famous quotes, Monica Vitti, and she has one. I'd like you to read it. Would you read Monica Vitti's quote? You can do it. It's not too long. Ready?
I'm lively and gay by nature. And sane.
Let's see.
With Monica Vitti.
It's Monica Vitti. So there we are.
There you go, mama. There you go, Miss Monica Vitti. Oh, this has been a week for just stuff.
It has been a week for stuff.
Week for stuff, baby. I mean, it's weird though, because it's like I gotta figure out a way because I can't hear. I have a hard time hearing you. But it's okay.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm jumping in because we have kind of a full show, and I think we should just start talking about stuff. So something happened. You gave me the article today about Sean Penn. And Sean Penn was, I guess he went online somewhere and started talking about, men not being masculine enough and being feminine. And so then I think it's the Independent, where it was interviewing him. And it was kind of an interview with him and his daughter. And they brought this quote up. They go, well, you were talking about this thing. And this is what he said. He kind of was one of those people that then doubled, as opposed to backtracking or putting it in a perspective, he decided to double down. And so he said this quote. I think that men have, in my view, become quite feminized. There are a lot of, I think, cowardly genes that lead to people surrendering their genes and putting on a skirt. Now, Michael, Sean Penn won an Oscar for playing Harvey Milk. That shocked me.
Again, can we talk about this? I mean, this is sort of off topic, but we have to stop awarding cishet men. Yeah.
William Hurt
for playing queers.
Well, because they're brave, aren't they? Oh, they're so brave.
Aren't they brave?
Look at playing a gay. They kissed a man. Oh
God. And it's like he didn't care about the cowardly genes then, did he?
No, because he was getting cowardly paid. But we have to let's just tie this up because I want to make sure we get this. But Jonathan Van Ness, who's part of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy,
it's just Queer Eye now.
Oh, no straight guy.
No longer just for straight folks.
No.
Which is what people
say for breakfast anymore. He tweeted this. You go, Michael. You do this one.
First of all, I'm non-binary. Second, Sean Penn, your remarks are ignorant, transphobic, and devoid of intelligence. My cowardly genes have more strength, resolve, and beauty than you could understand. Sean is suffering from toxic masculinity and needs to watch Getting Curious. Now, for those of you who don't know, Getting Curious is the new show on HBO Max that Jonathan Van Ness has. And, he talks a lot about, trans issues and non-binary issues. And it's actually really quite fascinating. But, it's like, look, you know what? You were married to Madonna. One of the biggest gay icons there ever was. You lived in that world with Madonna. And for you to say this, especially after winning an award for playing
an icon.
True
icon, yeah.
A true icon. And you're going to sit up here and talk about, something must, you know what, baby, take your Viagra and try to get your little Olympia.
I don't know what's threatening him that he's going on this. I mean, what happened to the spectrum where we got a bunch of everything as opposed to male, female? That's old school. Not good.
That's just old. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't know if we're ever going to get rid of the binary. I have no idea if we're ever going to do that. I know we're marching very quickly towards it,
Well, you say that, but our youth of today are not. I mean, the people in the White House and people, maybe not the White House specifically, but in our government are trying to do all sorts of things. However, our youth, Maxwell just even told me the other day, I can't wait till we, take over because you guys are messing up. Which I went, you're speaking truth.
Well, if our child said that, I'm sure our child didn't say messing up. I'm sure our child said fucking up.
Not to me. That might be to you.
Oh, because to me,
relationship. We have to move on, Michael Shepard.
I'm talking about. Greg is right. Greg, he beat up Madonna badly. He whooped Madonna's ass, which is what.
Talk about toxic masculinity. I mean, fuck him. No, I'm really angry at him right now. Someone I'm not angry at, if I may do a segue, is Whoopi Goldberg, who is in the news this week. I can't believe this is happening. I find this one of the most ridiculous pieces. I have a clip for you from The View of this week. The first part of the clip is what she said, the cause the Fuhrer, which I'm sure many of you know is about the Holocaust. And the second part of the clip is an apology. So I'm just going to play this and then we'll talk after.
The Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race. It's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's about
but
going
it's
after Jews
not about
ideal race.
But these are two
Romans.
white groups of people. I said that the Holocaust wasn't about race. And it was instead about man's inhumanity to man. But it is indeed about race because Hitler and the Nazis considered Jews to be an inferior race. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people, as they know, and y'all know, because I've always done that.
So I know you couldn't hear that, but so we had the first part where she's talking about, we kind of discussed it, but then
figured out how to get the sound.
And not only did Whoopi apologize, granted, she did not use the words "I'm sorry" anywhere in there, which I think she's kind of getting roasted about. But she also then brought on, I can't remember who the guys is, but he brought on an expert, and they talked about it for part of the segment, and so it was educational as well. So your take, Michael. Why don't we jump to you, and then I have a lot of thoughts on this one.
I have been talking about this with many of my Jewish friends. I spoke to a rabbi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
My friend Lori's a rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
I have watched videos of Jewish folk talking about this, and it is such a deeply complicated issue.
Oh, wait, before you say where you're going, I just want to round out. ABC then said that Whoopi is suspended from The View for 2 weeks because her statements were hurtful to the Jewish community. This is why I'm a little upset. Anyway, I wanted to add more context, Michael. I'm sorry.
It's a very deeply complex story, because from my perspective as a Black man in America, I don't view it as a race thing. And I see where Whoopi was coming from. I totally see where she was coming from.
Well, can you say what the it is? You don't see the stuff that happened at the Holocaust as a race thing, or you don't see.
I mean, yes,
Jewish
the
as a
word race was used, and this is just me, and the word race was used. And again, I'm getting messages about that it is a race. I'm getting messages that it's not a race. I don't know. But for me as a Black person, when I hear race, I think about myself and what I've gone through. I can't live within, I can't, I will never live the Jewish experience.
Yes.
That's not what I'm not going to live that. And that's why it's so complicated. The one thing I wish would have happened is that the conversation that she had the next day with the person that she brought on, why wasn't that conversation perpetuated? Why did not, so we can figure out what...
I think that they're messing up. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit, but when Sharon Osbourne was kicked off, or I don't know if she's kicked off or walked away at this jump point, but in the talk, when she, kind of did a little stumble about race and then didn't come back because she was, I think, embarrassed and her white fragility was spewing all over the place. But what I thought really needed to happen was then the discussion, not to kick someone off, but then to do the discussion, right? Then to bring people in and have the discussion and talk. And, you have said to me almost our entire relationship that we need to have the talk about race. And unfortunately, there isn't a talk. There needs to be many talks and constant talks and kind of familiarizing ourselves as to what race is. And the thing is, what we're dealing with in this particular topic is race is meaning something different to different people. You talk to the Black community in the United States, it's going to mean something different than talking to Jews in Nazi Germany. So it isn't that one is more invalid or more right. It's just a more broad topic, and we need to think about it perhaps more broadly than what we've been doing.
What happened to our Jewish brothers and sisters is horrific. And that is, I feel, is something that should never be politicized. It is what it is. This is the truth of what happened. 6 million Jewish brothers and sisters of ours were systematically murdered.
I'd like to add to that, and it wasn't just Jewish people who were murdered. Anyone that didn't fit into the Aryan race. So it included Black people, it included homosexuals, it included people in wheelchairs, it included many different people.
Well, it's like Bethany said, it was a race issue because the Nazis and Hitler made it a race issue. Oh, you just put it up. I love that.
I'm being magical with you, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm trying to feel you.
But here's the deal. If we can't have this conversation, how, because look, I love me some Whoopi Goldberg. Don't get it twisted. But if you make a mistake today, you just get thrown away. If you make a mistake, no matter how big, no matter how small, you get thrown away.
They call it canceled, honey.
And what happens is that if we're not going to talk about it, how are we going to come to some sort of way of getting to here? Because right now we are just like all over the fucking place.
I would like to bring up one other thing, because you said you talked to many Jewish people. I didn't talk to many Jewish people, but we had our friend Lizzie over. We talked to Lizzie, but I did read a couple of articles about it, and to talk about being Jewish and what that is, there isn't one word. It is race, but it's also other things as well. It could be religion, but not everyone that is Jewish is, observant of the religion. It could be, and then I read this one article that said it's really a brotherhood or a family. Lizzie, our neighbor, said it was a bloodline. So, you have many different thoughts on this. It isn't just that everyone flat out is saying being Jewish is its own race. The people that define Judaism as a race that I understand are the Nazis. Hitler himself said it was inferior.
I think we should touch on this again next week, and we should invite somebody on to talk.
I think so, because I think me being a white person talking for Black people, for Jewish people, is not good.
Yeah.
I do want to. Let me just jump to. Do you want me to jump, or you want to finish something else?
I just think that it's a conversation we need to be having, and if they're not going to have it on The View, then maybe we should have it here with other people and try to figure this. Why not?
And it should be supportive. There really isn't. The thing about Whoopi Goldberg is her heart wasn't, I hate Jews, I deny the Holocaust, It wasn't anything like that. It was simply a usage of a word from her perspective.
Yeah.
Do we bash someone on the rocks because of that, or do we go, oh wait, hold on, I have another perspective. Let's look at it this way as well.
We bash now.
We're-
But I will tell you this: in talking to Black folks,
yeah.
Black folks are mad because Meghan McCain and the other little thing from the other little blonde woman from the other show all have said horrific things about Black and brown people and our Asian brothers and sisters, and they got nothing.
So I have a clip that I spliced together. This is Meghan McCain on The View. It is two different pieces. It was in the same week. And the first piece, Tammy Duckworth was talking to the Biden administration about adding more Asian Americans into the cabinet. And Meghan had issues with that. In the second one, Trump had called, of course, because we heard it so many times, called COVID the Asian flu, or I'm not even going to say the other one. And Meghan McCain was actually supporting that. So this was all within the same week. I hate to backtrack 9 months, 10 months, or whatever this is, but I want to show you sort of an equivalent that happened on The View. And here are the two clips.
And I think the question Democrats have to reconcile with right now is whether or not race and gender are more important than qualification. So if you have someone who is more qualified, who happens to be a white, straight person, who is more on paper, has more experience in whatever field that they're being nominated for, than a minority with less experience, are we now in a place where this matters? I don't have a problem with people calling it whatever they want. It's a deadly virus that did originate in Wuhan. I don't have a problem with it. And I think that China, had they acted right away and we had more access to information, maybe it wouldn't have gotten to the place that it is.
And I know you didn't hear, Michael, but the thing about those two clips, these two, people could interpret it. I'm not going to interpret it right here, but people could interpret it as anti-Asian remarks. She was not kicked off the show for 2 weeks.
So
he kept going.
Okay, because Black voices are being.
I think we are going a bit territory. Let me do one more thing, Michael, before you talk. She had a quote this week, Meghan McCain. Instead of half-assed apologies and bringing in experts in the anti-Semitism space, maybe dedicate an entire hot topic segment to discussing why what was said so deeply offended and so dangerous. So basically calling Whoopi's apology half-assed. I mean, I found that incredibly rude, especially in light of the fact that she herself got into trouble on that show periodically. And after both of those statements, mind you, she had to come back and apologize like Whoopi apologized. Anyway, I found an inequity with that.
Her husband is basically the grand dragon of whatever little clan he runs. So her ideologies are not going to fall far from his. We want, people want to go, oh, we liked her dad. No, we didn't. We only liked him because he died. That's the only reason we liked him.
Well, and he saved Obamacare. Please. He cast that last vote and it stayed.
Look, this is
I'm not saying I agreed with John McCain on much. He had his maverick moments. There are many things he said that I was like, oh, Pappy, no, go away. Stop.
Can we talk about something else?
Michael?
Because you know what?
Michael? We don't talk about Bruno, no. I can't sing it. You sing it.
We don't talk about Bruno. But it was my wedding day. So if y'all have not watched this damn Encanto yet,
Encanto.
I'm waiting for because
Encanto. You guys have made me a fan. We saw it in the movie theater. I think you've seen it now 5 times on top of that, I would guess.
Maybe more.
And that song is one of the ones that is that earworm thing, and it goes in. It is so the reason why I'm bringing it up. It is the first #1 song of 2022, and everyone is surprised. There's not one, even Lin-Manuel Miranda is like, huh? What's going on here?
And was it the Pressure song? The Pressure song is like number 12.
Well, it was number 9 I read today. Those numbers change so fast. I want to give you a fact, Michael Shepard.
All right.
It is the first #1 song from a Disney animated film since, can you guess? What do you think was the
Tales as old as time. Beauty and the Beast. No? If it's not Beauty and the
older
Beast,
than that? 29 years ago.
29 years ago, I was barely alive.
Mm-hmm. A whole new
Peebo Bryson and what's the name?
from Aladdin. Yeah, that was a number one song. It was 20. So not even, think about this. Frozen wasn't even number one. But we're talking about Bruno, number one. Lin-Manuel. So do you think he's going to get his Oscar this year? Just wondering.
Um,
You think he's going to get the EGOT?
I would love that he got his Oscar. I would love it, love it, love it.
So speaking of people that are doing incredibly well, Mr. Josh Wardle.
Wardle or Wordle?
No, it's Wardle. Wardle.
And he
Created
made Wordle.
Wordle. Yes, he did. And the New York
Imagination.
Times basically bought Wordle for 7 figures. They're not saying what the 7 figures are. The man is a millionaire. The Wordle developer is a millionaire. They're saying that for now, the New York Times is saying that Wordle will still be for free for a while. For a while.
For a while.
But can I tell you, there's I wish I could tell you the name of it. There's a games platform that I do every day. It's free. And it's, it's like, crosswords and whatnot. And they have they call it Wordy as opposed to Wordle, but it's their version. It's exactly the same. The colors are almost the same. So there are other, lookalikes out there, but Wordle. Yeah. I don't think I did Wordle today. Maybe I did.
I did it. I got it in 2. It was crazy.
Oh, that's good. Someone posted they got it in one. For those how many people are doing Wordle? I wonder how people are talking about this. Oh, Jennifer Lee Warden is here.
Yes. At her opening night party.
You're at your party? You're not at your party and talking to us. Is the party over? Uh-oh.
No.
I take offense to this. How dare she?
I got to tell you this. The other day, 2 people texted me and said, "Oh, the Wordle is about you today." And I was like, what?
I think someone just gave the answer. Is this the Wordle answer?
No, that's what they're talking about. He's talking about it's greed is why he sold it. But
no, I'm sorry. Do it. I think he should sell it. Don't you?
You know what? As long as it stays free.
Right for me to say. I think that absolutely 100%.
Well, the Wordle the other day that literally 2 people said, "Oh, the Wordle is about you today." The word was moist.
I'm not doing them every day. I didn't do that one.
Further, by the way, Jason Kennedy, the fact that you knew it was moist before I said anything and I didn't talk to you, shame on you, sir.
Jennifer Lee Warden says the party is still going on. What did she say? Resting in the dressing room. Well, congratulations. I'm sure the show was a success.
Oh, what? Jennifer Lee Warren did it. Of course it's a success.
Of course it's a success.
Oh, you know what, though?
What?
Because, by the way, Jennifer Lee Warren was in the original cast of Little Shop of Horrors. The original cast. How fantastic. Where I'm doing Little Shop of Horrors.
You have your wig fitting today?
I had my wig fitting yesterday, and they looked at me when I walked in and went, "Why do you need a wig? You're off stage."
Well, you have that first number.
So I'm gonna look like Eunice from the old Carol Burnett show. I just want a big Eunice wig. Mama. Oh, speaking of,
her wig was insane. Yeah, with all those curls on the side.
Speaking of which, though, speaking of wigs, we're about to have a wig extravaganza coming up soon, child.
What's up?
The Color Purple, the musical, the movie.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
The Color Purple, the musical movie.
I know. Well, tell me. So you can't just say it twice like that. Gives us all the information. Michael Shepard, how many times have I told you? Elucidate. Give more information.
Marcus Gartley.
What are you speaking?
Marcus Gartley.
One real quick question. Is it going to be Oprah Winfrey Presents The Color Purple, the musical movie? Because she's doing it.
He's the executive producer.
Yeah. That kind of
Marcus Gartley, who came to our house for Thanksgiving and a couple other times. Marcus Gartley wrote the script. God, I should have wrote the director's name down. I just forgot it.
Why didn't you see that part?
But it's starring Fantasia Barrino as Celie. If she shows up.
I think that's a big Gamble. I mean, because here's the deal: Cynthia Erivo, who's so freaking hot right now, who we know can act. No, I got to finish the thought. Who
Okay,
we know can act, and you're going to take Baritz Fantasia, who I think has probably done very little screen work. I mean, I'm not saying it's the wrong choice, right? I mean, we have Jennifer Hudson, who just did Aretha. She's from American Idol, and
she has an Academy Award.
An Academy Award. So I'm not saying it's the wrong choice. I'm just saying that it's interesting that they went with Fantasia, who I know will sing her ass off. Don't get me wrong there.
Well, and she played the role on Broadway for
I know.
A year.
When you think of Fantasia, you don't necessarily think of stellar acting, is my point. I'm not saying that she won't do it. Maybe she'll bring it all. Maybe
She'll tap into something, honey. She'll tap into something. But anyway, so
wait, real quickly, I got to do this.
Oh, Crystal. Ain't that right, Crystal? You heard me right, Ronette.
Oh, God. I love Little Shop of
And
Horrors.
the thing about the girls' names, Crystal, Chiffon, and Ronette, they were all girl groups, Black girl groups.
Yeah.
Crystal, Chiffons, and the Ronettes. I love that. But
I'm going to go through the list. So Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple, who's I know from Orange Is the New Black, will be Sophia. And then I got a list of actors, but I don't know what parts are. Who's Taraji going to play? Taraji P. Henson. Who? I'm asking. Suge?
Suge Avery.
I honestly, it's weird for me. Corey Hawkins, Coleman Domingo, and her. Who's her? What's her? Who's her going to play?
Her.
Who's her?
Her is playing.
What will her be playing?
Corey Hawkins and her are playing Squeak and
Little Mister. What's his name?
Yeah, I did the show. So I just think I know.
You should know it better than I do.
And then Halle
Harpo. He's playing Harpo.
Harpo, and then Halle Berry.
Oh, I didn't know Halle Berry. I didn't see that part.
I can't remember who she's playing.
Oh, she's playing the Judith Ivy part.
I will play the Judith Ivy part. when she says, but can my sister drive you home?
This needs to be shown. I saw Jennifer Lee Warren night. She's saying that Fantasia was fierce in The Color Purple on Broadway. I'm happy America is doing good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I can't tell you the number of Fantasia CDs we have in this house. So I love her voice. I think she's tremendous. She should have absolutely won American Idol when she did. And so I look forward to it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to see it. It's going to rain on your head.
Oh my God. It's going to be a movie that's going to be playing in our house over and over.
Oh, I'm going to have that.
Hey, Michael, who's playing Mr.?
Coleman Domingo. My buddy Coleman Domingo. You met Coleman when we went to the opening of, he was with us with Tracy.
Your Alzheimer's is so cute.
Wow. Wow.
Dementia's cute.
I'm fine.
I wonder if I'll think that in 5 years.
I'm fine.
Oh my God, I'm jumping ahead this time.
I'm ready to
go. Are you ready for me to jump ahead, or do you have a last thought?
No. I'm excited about it. I am excited.
So there was a little boy, an 8-year-old boy, second grader, who went with his grandmother to, I'm reading, which is why my head is down, went to the Ida Community Library's Lake Hazel branch. That's a lot of words, in Boise, Idaho. And he had a book that he created. And I'm going to give you an image of the book. This is the book he created. And if you can't read it, it says The Adventures of Dylan Helbig Christmas, Chrissmis, by Dylan himself, not himself, Dylan himself. And he wrote this book. It is 81 pages, Michael Shepard. It is all artwork. I've got to show you the artwork. It's artwork like this. So chapter 1, Christmas at the North Pole. Chapter 2. Anyway, so it's all this stuff. I landed in his stomach. And the book is about, I know this sounds like it's about nothing. I just thought this was the cutest story. The book is about, I'm going to read this out loud, is about his adventures putting an exploding star on his Christmas tree and being catapulted back to the first Thanksgiving and the North Pole. So he goes into the library, has his book, sneaks it on a shelf, and leaves it there. and then goes away. Then his mother frantically calls back and says, please don't throw it away. Well, it turns out the library staff fell in love with, they found the book, they fell in love with it, started passing it around. They have now put its own little barcode on it, and it is 3 years. You can't even get this book for friggin' 3 years. It has gotten so popular.
I understand. I love that.
And then he decided to give him an award, so he won the library's first Houdini Award. I'm going to spell this out, WHOODINI, because their mascot is an owl. So to little Dylan Helberg and and every other 8-year-old writer out there, keep creating books. After last week doing a whole thing about book banning, it's nice to know that there are creators doing stuff. So
I'm gonna take
image, Michael Shepard.
Oh, Dylan likes Minecraft.
He likes Minecraft. Yes, he does.
Oh, the thing is, I want to see those pictures. Were actually amazing.
They were good for an 8-year-old, right?
Those were amazing.
One day, I wish I could read it a little bit better.
I'm sorry, I love it. I love it. But I want to add this. Not just 8-year-old writers. Some of you 40 and 50-year-old writers, keep doing what you're doing. Just to go, 8-year-olds, keep it up. No, 40 and 50-year-olds, guess what? Keep it up too, y'all.
Do you know what I said, Michael?
What?
60.
You can say it. I don't know nothing about that.
Okay, mister.
But
hey, Michael, your favorite show 3 years ago.
What?
Came in the news.
What?
What was your favorite show 3 years ago?
I'm getting plastic.
You're not yes-anding me.
I have to get. I saw my wrinkle again in the middle of my forehead. My 11s are like 15s. I got to get this done.
I don't know what that means.
I got to get it done. What were you saying?
What was your favorite show 3 years ago?
My favorite show 3 years ago.
You watched over. Oh my God! Yes,
I watched all the time 3 years ago. I barely remember what I had for breakfast.
The Masked Singer, my friend. You were enamored of. You
know why? Because it was a puzzle.
It was a puzzle.
They gave.
And we'd be like, "It's Gladys Knight," or "It's Donny Osmond." Remember? We figure it out.
I was a good 70% of the time I was absolutely right.
That's high. There's sometimes they totally flummox.
No, but then that's when they were actually using
personalities that
we talented folks. They were actually talented.
When it's sports figures, how are we going to know how they say it? Well, you know why they're in the. Tell everyone why they're in the news this week.
So, Miss Rudolph Giuliani, our good sister from the Four Seasons.
Drip.
Our good sister from the Four Seasons.
Tire factory.
She's on this big tour, right? She wants to make sure that everyone falls in love with her. Because when you go on those reality shows,
let's be clear, it hasn't aired. This is only a taping. This is the taping of, I think they said, I don't know, it's the 7th season or something like that. It's a taping, and Rudy Giuliani came on, and they're not saying what Rudy's saying. They're not saying what costume Rudy is wearing. They're trying to keep that a surprise. It's my understanding, although they were vague in the article, that he may have been the first to be kicked off. May. Not sure.
All I know is that two of the judges walked off, and I'm like, okay.
let's give them names for goodness sake. So Ken Jeong and Robin Thicke, they were the boys walked off. The girls.
No, but here's the thing: we're normalizing this shit by having a Sarah Palin, by having a Sean Spicer. Because all of a sudden,
to be fair, Sarah Palin is a personality. I mean, she's not someone that ruined democracy. I mean,
she pulled out the pen.
Well, no, I would say in that case, you're going back to John McCain. John McCain pulled out by bringing Sarah Palin on.
Again, however, I don't like his punk ass.
But yeah, Rudy Giuliani, he has been responsible for many problems, which is why when I heard that 2 of the judges walked off the set the second he was unmasked, I was a little bit proud. I was like, good. That needs to be done.
That's one of those stank ass they'll stayed on.
The two ladies did. Well, they probably wearing heels.
Wow.
That was kind of sexist, wasn't it? I apologize to everyone who wears heels.
Thank you. I accept your apology.
Modesty Blaze.
It has worn heels. But can I just say, but we got to stop, because here's the deal.
Stop
These
what?
Sean Spicer, Sarah Palin, Rudy Giuliani. There's another one that I can't think of the name. These are people that tried to destroy our country, right? They're destroying our country through lies and deceit and all this stuff. Then they go on these shows and then they become funny anecdotes. So all the bullshit that they caused and did against this country, which I fucking hate. I hate this country. I don't care who's.
It's the Jennifer Lee Warren show. You are like the third person in the show.
But but here's the deal, But now, remember when Sean Spicer did the little dance and he was that was so funny.
But Sean Spicer was just like, he was a press secretary that couldn't do his friggin' job. Sarah Palin was a bit of a joke. She was the lipstick on a pig person.
Sarah Palin was not a joke. Sarah Palin's the reason we're in the place we are now.
The people that picked Sarah Palin are the reason we're in the position we're in. She didn't pick herself. Rudy Giuliani has done damage. He's in a different category.
Sean Spicer lied every day on that podium.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong on that end. I think
I
had to.
Sarah Palin, I can see, what is Jennifer Lee Warren? I can see Russia from my vagina. And I said that, the word vagina.
I say that.
I'm quoting the woman who said it. Don't get mad at me, because I said vagina.
Oh, did people get mad at you? I'd like to jump onto some other firebrand that you love.
Oof. What is it?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Why do you have to bring that old steak ass up?
Because she's in the fucking news again. I don't know what to say.
Always in the.
I mean, now I got to find her. Where are you in my whole thing? So I got to jump back about, a year ago or whenever this was. And she put out a sign on her door. And it looked like this. There are two genders, male and female. Trust the science. The other person is Marjorie Newman, a Democrat from Illinois, who was across the hall. And the whole reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene put up the sign is that Marie Newman has a trans daughter and put up a trans flag. So, I'm trying to get rid of the thing. So you got one person putting up a trans flag, Marjorie Taylor Greene, going, I'm going to put, do this thing. Well, there's a problem. Do you know the problem she's having this week, Michael Shepard? People keep taking down her sign.
I was hoping it was diarrhea.
People keep doing graffiti. People keep writing all over my sign. Look at that. So, free Palestine. There are not two genders. And so she's upset. So she has a quote of this week, which I just have to share with you. Because if someone is this crazy, so crazy and deranged over a sign that says there are only two genders, male and female, and they keep attacking it, then obviously they may try to attack me personally.
Did my phone ring?
I don't know.
Hold on. I don't have sound now. Something happened.
Yet I hear you perfectly.
Hold on. I don't have sound. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Maybe you have to dial in again.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure it out.
He can't.
Someone called in and I forgot to have the thing muted. Mike is unmuted.
Here, I'm going to go to the comments and tell my husband.
All right. I can't hear you. I got to go.
Here.
It's something on my end. Just know that
No, wait.
I hate Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Michael, call me. I mean, get back in. Hang up and then call me.
I'm going to hang up and call you.
There, I put him on. He's going to come back in, hopefully. So that was the next thing on our list, was the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing. I got to say that woman, she gets on my freaking nerves. Michael will come back. I gave him a whole thing. Oh, here he is. Let's see if this works. Are you back?
Okay, first of all, Jason O'Shea, you can kiss my ass.
What did he say?
Old Man Michael is my favorite.
You know what Michelle Banks said? She
What?
said, "It's been a week."
I'm sitting here. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm sitting here in my t-shirt and my drawers. And
Old Man Michael is my favorite. Is that why you're saying this?
Jason O'Shea, you can kiss my ass. All right, what were we talking about?
We're ending. No, that's over with. I gotta. So, I mean, I would like to jump to a headline that I saw this week that made me laugh hysterically. Would you like to see the headline that I saw that I liked?
Okay.
Here.
Wait, Martha Stewart's pant shoes are the most confusing thing I've ever seen in my life. How do I not know about this?
Look at this outfit, Michael. She's wearing espadrille leather pant shoes. And just to give you a close-up, this is all from InStyle. I grabbed the most ludicrous thing I could find. Martha Stewart's pant shoes. You have to have more to say. Come on. You're a drag queen. Would you ever be caught in those?
It's not the first time I've seen that look. Picture it. Chicago, 1987. I was with Michelle Banks. We were drinking. We decided to sew. We created that look. Now, I want to tell stories about Michelle Banks one day. I want to talk about that fur coat she threw away.
Oh my God. You guys
That fur coat. Oh, I want to talk about, and then wait, I want to talk about the time that Michelle Banks, I was dating this guy in Chicago who started stalking me when I broke up with him. And Michelle Banks.
What do you do? What is this, a teaser for next week? What do you do? You can't just like ramble.
Michelle Banks had to become be the in between him and I. She was so mad at me. Oh my God.
You know what time it is, Michael Shepard?
Coon of the week. Yes, it's time for the Shatheed of the week. Now, what I want everybody to do is to vote for your favorite Shatheed. Is it A, Meghan McCain? B,
Meghan McCain, B, Marjorie Taylor Greene, or C, Sean Penn? Who utterly pissed you off most this week?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it Meghan McCain? Is it Marjorie Taylor Greene? Is it Sean Penn?
Did you hear me? I just said that.
Who's my Shatheed?
No, who pissed you off the most is how you say it. Who pissed you off the most? Who is the Shatheed of the week? So everyone needs to pitch it. While we're waiting, I have one last thing I want to show you, Michael. Broadway Barbara.
I love Broadway.
Who we love, has some advice for us today.
So you've been cast in the ensemble again. Here are my surefire tips for pulling focus from the leads. Step 1, add some flair to your wardrobe. Make an anonymous role your own by adding something memorable. When I played a member of the multitude in Jesus Christ Superstar, I slipped on an I'm with stupid t-shirt over my tunic, which delighted and, to be fair, deeply offended many in the audience. Number 2, do some unnecessary throat clearing. Not only will it keep your co-stars on their toes, but the audience will look in your direction. Because, hey, maybe townsperson number 4 is about to launch into their spirited solo. Number 3, give yourself a line. My trick has always been to make myself the have you heard the news gal. After any major plot development, just grab a fellow cast member and say, have you heard the news? This literally works for every show, except for maybe The Miracle Worker.
She tickles me so much.
I love Broadway.
This works for every show. Except maybe The Miracle Worker.
What is her name?
Oh, I actually have a real name. It's true.
Yeah.
Leah Sprecher, Sprecher, Sprecher. Is that how you say that?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Broadway Barbara's on tour right now, so you can actually go see her.
She's what?
She's on tour.
Oh God, is she doing she's doing her character?
I think she's taking Broadway Barbara to Vegas.
So I see. Oh, there it's all over the place. Michael, I think all three of them are Shathid of the week.
Shathid.
Michelle Banks says it the best. All three. Shathid of the week. All three of them. They all win.
Shathid. As we're like closing out on doing this right now, for those of you who don't know, we're split screen because I'm in Montgomery, Alabama doing Little Shop of Horrors. Hutch is in the kitchen doing whoever shows up while the kids are at school.
Do you hear Sebastian, by the way? Lots of sounds coming from the bedroom.
No, I don't hear a thing.
I don't want to tell everyone what those sounds are.
But you said my joke.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Well, the joke's ruined now. I don't know if I want to.
Why am I so famous for this? I do this all the time. Sorry.
I don't know.
Continue.
I know. No. So what I want to say is, I'm out of town, but I'm in Montgomery, Alabama, which is basically one of the birthplaces of the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give myself a week to explore and take pictures of Montgomery. There's a bunch of museums and there's a bunch of Black history here.
Can I tell you what I want for the show? I want some live feeds that we can play on the show where you're somewhere and you're like exploring wherever.
So next week we're going to do a Black history special. It's a Black history starting with Montgomery, Alabama, because that's where I am. And I plan to explore this town. And there is a museum here, the Legacy Museum, that is centered around nothing but hanging nooses. I am both excited and totally scared to go to this place because I'm like, it's just, it's a museum of hanging, basically. And
I think that's one of the things that's there. I don't know if that's the whole.
No, there's a lot of other things.
Actually, is it a monument, Michael, or a museum? I kind of don't know.
Museum.
It's a full museum.
A Legacy Museum. Nilda, I'm at Alabama Shakespeare. O'Shea, I don't have Kyle's number. Text it to me or FaceTime me or do whatever people do to get numbers to people these days. My mother would sit and do this. She would do this. This is what she would do. She'd be having conversations. She would pat this. And I would say, why do you do this? And she would go, I do it because I don't want a double chin.
I don't know that that's surprising.
Botox.
I have a because this is Black History Month. I'm going to end with this. I think you'll appreciate it.
Ciao. For now.
You don't get blacker than that.
That's true.
For now. All right. Maybe I'm
Boozing with gays.
I miss you already.
I love you, sweetheart.
Love you too. And we'll talk about the BAFTAs next week too to make sure that David C. Nichols has his say.
Oh, I like that. Good. We'll do that. And Black History Month.
Yeah. Bye. Love you.